Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So yesterday, that was when Gang of Lagos was released, right? April 7. After I watched it, out of my excitement, the way the whole thing was still fresh in my memory, I said, yeah, I need to develop something for my people. So I carried my phone, set up the camera, the video, the microphone, and all, made a 27-minute video. And guess what? 25 minutes of it was silence. My phone stopped working after 2 minutes of starting, and I did not know. So, my point is, if you're coming across my channel for the very first time and you're watching this video, please click on the subscribe button because it is very, very important. Like, I go through shege behind the scene or behind the camera to drop this video for you, this kind of videos for you. So please hit on the subscribe button and also hit the bell button after doing that so you can get notified whenever I drop any new video. So I'll be talking about the Gang of Lagos that Jade Osiberu actually did. She produced and directed the movie, although they have other executive producers and the rest in the movie. So you see this movie, eh? Hey, okay, when we watched Brotherhood, we were shouting, Brotherhood, Lele, Brotherhood, makes sense, and that. But you see this Gang of Lagos. If you're familiar with the Isale Eko, those Mushin, those socials decide, then you'll be like this movie would actually interest you because you'll be familiar with the daily vices that happens there. Is it the petty stealing, Kalon all those fighting, and then the money you collect, you go and give a tax collector and so on like that. You understand? And they also try to dabble around Nigerian politics, or let me just say Lagos politics in Gang of Lagos. So then we had some street fights here and there and some killings as well. So let me just start talking about Gang of Lagos. So in this movie, we have different castings. And the funniest thing is there are like three major ones that I'm not so familiar with. So mind you, I've been seeing lots of comments like, oh, Eniola Badmus is fat again, this and this and that. This movie was actually made in 2021. That was before she went through the losing of fat and so on like that. So the movie was made in 2021 and they just released it. But I just wish they had actually released it during the election or maybe prior the election. Anyways, like I used to say, Jade Osiberu and Kemi Adetiba are like my favorite, not like, they're actually my favorite producers and directors in Nigerian movie industry because they are the ones that are really trying to take Nollywood to another level entirely, minus all the ones that we used to watch on YouTube and so like that. I beg, don't mind those ones at all. So let's just talk about it. Now, talking about Gang of Lagos, like I said, it has so many casting, beautiful actors and actresses. From the main actor, Tobi Bakre, like guy. Also, we have Tobi, who did a very wonderful job. A fighting here doesn't really look choreographed. Looked real at a point, and it was so different from Muna. I'm not sure if many of you are so familiar with the movie Muna. Muna looks so fake and all, but this one looked a bit real. Yes. We also have Chike. Oh my goodness. Like they brought Chike out. You know the Chike that sang, Chike, oh, hey. This is hard for me to say. You get now, love song and so like that. They brought him out to come and do tongue in this movie. My mother was like, "No, wait, this is Chike. No, like this is Chike, right?" Exactly. So, but it was still this gentle, the gentle among the thugs, if we can put it that way. Kole, he does not want wahala. Just take instruction and do as it is. He does not even know how to kill. Like, why would I kill? So yeah, so Chike. Then Yinka Quadri played Olorogun, so he's there. He's like the Baba Sale, Baba Eko, Baba Nigbejo, father of the ground. Bimbo Ademoye, Chioma Akpota, Iyabo Ojo, and one of the Korodu boys, Malik Sani, is there as well. He played the young Tobi Bakre. Tobi Bakre played Obalola. So he played the young Obalola. And yeah, the new faces, like I said, like this Mr. Kazim here, I've never seen him in movies before. I'm not familiar with the face. Also, Mr. Nino Lowo, that was meant to be the Elenion, but was eventually killed. I'm not familiar with the face. Yeah, so basically that's just it. Now let me talk about the storyline. So the story is about three people. They are friends, Paddy now, Obalola, Ifi, and Gift. So I'll be referring to Gift as Ebun here because Ebun is actually easier for me to remember. So we have Ifi, Ebun, and Obalola. Anyways, the three of them, Paddy now from small till adulthood. And then when Obalola was a baby, his father got killed by Mr. Kazim. Omo I'll be referring to Mr. Kazim as Omo Alakpata because he likes calling himself that anyways. So Omo Alakpata killed Obalola's real father. Then while Obalola was still young, doing petty stealing around, stole from Eniola Badmus and so on like that, he met with Nino Lowo. So Nino Lowo was like, okay, I like you as a child, I like you as a boy, I'm going to take you in. And mind you, mommy Obalola, he was always like chasing evil spirit out of him. They had a vision for him that he will die, like the way the father died at a very young age. So they were always chasing evil spirits for him, carry him to the river. Now bring Oshushuwawa to be beating your picky and your face is collecting it. Oju Egba, like can't be me and you, like dude, can never be me and you. Then Nino Lowo took him in as a child. Nino Lowo felt, oh, your brain is for books and not for the streets. And they decided to enroll the guy in the school. But eventually, Nino Lowo was killed by Omalakpata, even though they did not know. So he was killed by Omalakpata. And then after he was killed by Omalakpata, he took over automatically now, took over Obalola. And his colleagues say, okay, oh, now maybe your Baba Gboro. I was Kazim, was Omalakpata with sending Shai to school. He's not his child now. So what? Tenny is his child. So he sent Tenny to school. I mean, he even sent Tenny to Britain after she finished her secondary school in Nigeria. That my child, I don't want this thing to touch you. Go away. So that was what he did. So after that, Obalola, if he if he was called Panama in this movie, played by Chike, like I still can't get over his role. I love his role so much. So that's Obalola, Panama, and Ebu. The three of them, they became all these touts for Omalakpata. You know, he was sending them on errands. Let me do this, let me do that, let me do that. Maybe like it reminded me of when Yoruba adage. It actually reminded me of a Yoruba adage that says Omolomo laroni shede turutu. Like you have to send your own child out of Nigeria to school simply because you don't want her to actually grow up in that neighborhood or to to be affected or to become a tout. But you are cool, with turning Obalola to Tog, Ifi, Panama to Tog, Ebu, who is a woman too to Tog. Okay. Anyways, those three, they were doing their jobs. And oh yeah, I didn't mention it. Mr. Macaroni was there too. I don't know if people say Akilo, they want fish macaroni. It didn't last in that movie. I think probably say 5 to 10 minutes. Mr. Macaroni played Wemimo. So Wemimo stole from Omalakpata. And Omalakpata felt he was Jamiluli. No, like, oh, yo, you stole from me. Like you go me susu. And then you stole from me. You carry my 5 million naira. And what did he do? He shook knife inside him and bring out all of his intestines. I was like, indeed, Omalakpata. What the heck is that? Yeah, so that was how Wemimo was taken out of the movie. And then, oh, I didn't tell you, Zlatan was there. Yeah, yeah, he was there. He played a rivalry to Obalola. I didn't mention the fact that Lowo wanted to become a linear. He was loved by many people. So Elenio is the owner of men. Yeah, the owner of men. So he was meant to be a linear. So he had his own gangs as well. So when he was killed, those ones they fell out of Omalakpata because Omalakpata was part of his team before that one killed him. Even though they did not know he killed him, they just decided to set up their own gang. So this Afin guy and then Zlatan, they were together and they were very, very, very big rival to Obalola and Omalakpata and others. So eventually the film led to politics. What the difference between KOB, that's King of Boys, and this movie is the fact that KOB was telling the story of politicians from the politicians' point of view. Do you get, like, say the story of Lagos from the politicians' point of view, while Gang of Lagos was telling the story from the Isale Eko, the Mushin, the Agbero's point of view. So that's just the difference between the two. But both movies were actually talking about Lagos politics. That's the truth. Everybody knows that one already, so there is no need for me to be hiding it. Anyways, everything turned to politics. Pasuma too was there. Hey, Pasuma. So Pasuma was the party chairman for another party, while Omalakpata, Obalola, Panama, they were working for another party. And that other party they were working for, those ones have been ruling Lagos for 20 years. I'm sure you already know. You can already feel the storyline. A particular household was already ruling that Lagos state for 20 years. And they now felt, okay, Pasuma and other people now felt it is time for a change. So they brought a candidate that's played by Toyin Aimaku there, Toyin Abraham. So they brought her in and they felt, okay, this is the new candidate we want. Omalakpata wanted to become the governor and he felt like money, but he has not even declared his intention, but he was not ready to collect. And Olorogun was the Baba ni Tony Eko. You might say, Awala leko eh. Awala leko. That's Olorogun and Omalakpata. They felt they own Lagos. Ọmọ alápatà tí ò kàjú secondary school lọ bóyá ló parí secondary school a máa jẹ gómìnà lẹ́yìn lórí, like, does that even make any sense? So anyways, everybody, there was huge rivalry, there were fights and so on like that. And then Malapata woke up one day and felt, if I eliminate Pasuma, that's Londona. If I eliminate Londona, I should be able to, find my way through, like destabilize the party and all. Went to a barbering salon, carried a whole Panama go. Ọmọlọ́mọ jẹ́jẹ́ láàrin èrò tí ò like wàhálà, tí ò like ìtọ́gbọ̀n. Carrying go, killed Pasuma. So after he killed Mr. Londona, there were news around then. After, when the set of Zlatan and this Afin guy, they belonged to Pasuma. So they saw them coming out of the barber's shop. So everybody believed it was Panama that killed Pasuma because nobody else was there except Panama. That's if he then Pasuma and Panama Pasuma. That's right. And of course, Omalakpata himself. So, after that, everything fell on Panama and they eventually killed Panama. I was like, no, why? They killed Panama. Mind you, while they were doing that, do you know what this Mr. Omalakpata did? If he already knew that Obalola is the strong man, like the strong man among those three. So he sent Obalola on duty to go and protect his child in Banana Island. You see, when Obalola got to Banana Island, he looked out, he said, this is the old house your father got for you. Like, your father would collect money from people, and this is what he's doing. He lets you and you're 30. Like, 30 people can live here. Only you is living here. Wow. So, I mean, he's out there taking money to build your own life, to do everything, while we are out there doing the dirty jobs for him. They sent some guys to distract Obalola, to attack them or probably kidnap Tenny, but those guys just left after they've killed Panama. So Panama died. And what I like about this particular scene or this part of the movie is that they took us through the grief, the death and the grief of the Panama, the mother, the way she wept, everybody the way they felt. And that was like the twist they all needed, the turn they needed in that movie. So, Obalola and Ebum, they got angry, they were on vengeful mode, like, my best son, you killed my brother, my family. So they went to street mode, asking everybody, if Panama die, 100 people must follow. 100 people shall follow. They shall fought like that. So he eventually, this Afin man and Zlatan, they now told him that, guy, we think say you smart, but you're not smart, you dance. Why can't you use your head? Now think of it this way. You see this Lagos, they've been ruling for 20 years. Then your father, who was a lady, he was a very good person, like people love him and so on like that. So the owner of men, then that was Obalola's father, felt it is high time I backed somebody else for this governorship. He wanted change. So Omalakpata was one of the young boys that was following him. He wore a costume. They were doing a festival. He entered and then he killed him. In fact, when I saw that scene, because it was the first scene that movie, my mother was like, "Wow, this is Tobi Bakre." But then it was not Tobi Bakre; it was Omalakpata. So he killed him. And then when Omalakpata now realized that Nollywood too is following the path of Obalola's father, he killed him, making it look like it was Londona, that's Pasuma's gang, that killed him. So after that, he killed Pasuma. He did not want to take the fall. So the guy was telling him that we had a meeting with Olorogun that Panama should take the fall. Like, what the heck? That innocent boy that cannot even kill. So that was how they killed Panama. So in short, Omalakpata killed every loved one, so everybody that died that Obalola loved. It was Omalapata that killed them. That's just the summary. Oh, that one went on raving mode, raging mode, whatever mode. Like, yes. So, oh, they featured this guy in this movie. You know, it was 2020 when they did it. So that was when it was really, really trending. Hopefully, this one would actually revive his career. So they pick up the guy. The guy took them to where they usually store their weapons and arms and everything. And after that, they set up that place. They just set it ablaze, and that one too, confirmed the killing of Obalola's father by Omalapata. And oh, sorry, it was even him that told him that it was Malapata that killed the father, not the Afin guy. So they eventually they shall went to the street. I like the way they planned this their own war. So it was not the street war. You know, one thing is this movie would have been predictable if, because I was expecting Obalola to also wear your costume and use that the same way he killed the father to kill Omalapata, but he didn't do it that way. They were not the ones under the costume. So they gathered all the gang leaders, the gang members, Oshodi, Isale Eko, Mushin, Fajuyi. I hope I'm correct. Everywhere they shall gathered there. Any boy, it's high time we stop all of this nonsense. Let's get another government entirely. Yes, mind you, um, Omalapata wanted to become owner of men as well. So they then had a burial party for Pasuma. Now this is what baffles me in that movie. Like you killed somebody and you still had the guts to went to go for his burial. Like, Uncle, share why am I even asking? Somebody that killed man. He does not have fear of God, I think. So they were there. Olorogun was there. So this man's on wheelchair, who is also a politician. I don't understand how a man on wheelchair will be controlling gidigan, cool like all these people. Really. So he was there, and those are the ones that they were targeting, the Olorogun, and also everybody guns started flying, gunshots, he won everything. The sharp fly. At the end of the day, it was like a big fight between Obalola and Omalapata, and they had it out like, hey, for where, Nimbo, hey, let's do Anto. And I don't understand why this Obalola is liking to do Anto. And you do Anto hard with cash played by Zlatan. Now we use knife to knife. You still want to do Anto hard with me. My dear, let's use gun and gun everybody out. So it was a boom that finally killed Omalapata, and that was how Omalapata died. This particular scene was funny too because I don't understand why Nobody was screaming like this. I understand telling your father died, but kilo day. I was just like, kilo little bit, like what's hard like that, kilo little bit. I was like, kilo little bit, it's not hard to reach that now. So, anyways, so that's just it. And then Balola eventually became the new owner of Men in Lagos State, and Mrs. Bamidele is on her way, or was on her way to becoming the new governor of Lagos State, and the movie ended like that. So that's just the storyline. That's the movie, entire movie that I just said. So now let's review this movie. Let's critique it. Let's rate it. Firstly, the good things about this movie. Number one is the casting. The casting was actually great. I love the casting. I mean, everybody there did a great job. The switch of language, the fighting scenes and all. Then the stunts double they did a great job. All of them really tried. The street fight, I've never been involved in street fight. I've never witnessed one. So to a bit of the knowledge me I have, I would say it looked real. But if you think otherwise, you can drop your own comment in the comment section and let us know. Yeah. So another good thing about the movie is the videography. Everything about this movie is clean, it's clear, it's almost perfect. Yeah, it was really, really nice. And what else is good about this movie? I like the background songs, honestly, from Naira Marley to Zlatan himself to King Sonny Ade to Kwamwa. I love all those songs they were actually interjecting in the movie. It really made sense, and it's in sync with whatever scenes they were trying to play out in that movie. And I like the fact that they featured one of those Ikorodu boys. He really tried his best. I mean, he gave it a good shot, and he really, really tried. So now I think those are the good parts of this movie. The sounding, they didn't know how can they have issues with sound when the whole Amazon Prime sponsored the movie, they gave them money. Why would they have issues with those production? The production was really, really dope. And then they showed us some cultures of Lagos, the Eyo festival, and also like when a prominent chief or somebody that is from Eko, when they die, they bring their Eyo festival, Eyo regalia out, your masquerades out to, to honor the chief. Yeah, it's one of those beautiful things about the movie. And then another fine thing, or let's say nice thing about the movie, is the fact that they tried narrating the story of Lagos politically. A lot of people will be politically inclined with this movie, so everybody's going to, or let's say majorly, a lot of people, or let's just say a lot of people are going to like this movie because of that. Lagos going through that wala presently. We don't tire, release us, free us, and so on like that. Yeah. So it's one of those nice things about the movie. Now the bad things about the movie, one of the, like usually say, because be so much if I photo some black things over there. One of those bad things about the movie is that the Yoruba speaking of the casting, they were not so perfect. I think that's just it for me, Sha. Any ugly part in this movie? Actually, no. Yeah, I didn't mention it. One of the things I like about the movie is the consistency costume. Like the costume was really, really consistent. Like Opalola got axed here, and then the scar was still, like they maintained showing the scar. Very sure one of those YouTube movies. I think by one axe here, down. Yeah, the movie was nice, but I'm going to rate it. I'll be rating it 9/10. So let me know what you think about rating of this movie. What would you rate it? And if you've not seen it, we have narrated it too. I did not mention in the beginning that it's spoiler alert. It's spoiler alert too. Okay, so that's just it, guys. Yeah, and I'm done. We're done with movie review for today. So if you are new to this channel, like I used to say, kindly click on the subscribe button to be a part of this channel. Hit the bell button as well, so that you get notified whenever I drop any new video. Until I see you some other time, guys. I love you. Bye.